All right, all right. Black Power is the truth hour. The truth hour with General Soulless Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. Y'all know what time it is. KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Seti DVDs, t-shirts, hoodies, fly African and comedic jewelry, holistic tonics, and remedies for the family in this time of great plague. You understand? Art and home decor for the Africans that's trying to transform their home into the African temple that they always wanted. KingSeti.com. We got a sale going on right now for the family, 15% off. Get on over there and get you some of those beautiful products that you've been looking at. Okay, ring the alarm. GeneralSeti.com. GeneralSeti.com, the most complete General Seti website, over 800 videos and lectures of all subjects, too raw for YouTube. You know you need that. Fire up that spirit, the making of the white man series. Most definitely need that. You know, the cure crackatosis, all debates, all religions exposed, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, that ism, and the other ism. All ancient religions, Ethiopia, Egypt, India. We got black power politics and the economics, all the things that of necessity for the African man and woman today, the African child. Get on over there to generalseti.com. I guarantee you're going to love it. And also, ring the alarm, goddamn it, General Seti dropping bombs on Patreon. Just got up off of Patreon today. Did one spirits time for spiritual warfare or leave it alone. You know, it's time for spiritual warfare or leave it alone. Everybody else got jihads and crusades, and we sitting up here waiting on a dead beast from off the cross to come down and save us, and he ain't got here yet. You understand? In this time of great turmoil and need, you see, and so did a very powerful one. So you need to get on over there to my Patreon and get those exclusive live streams by the general, all the hot topics of the day you won't see on YouTube because it might be too much fire to drop it on YouTube. Over 150 live stream lectures available for viewing only on Patreon. So become a patron today and gain access to that treasure chest of wisdom. And make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, Soulless Seti YouTube, General Seti YouTube, and King Seti YouTube. Rock that notification bell so you know when the general is going live, and like the video. Like it because you love it. Give it a thumbs up, family, and share it with the family. Now, today we're going to be dealing with a very powerful subject. You know, we dealing with soulless entities that walk the planet. Let me get a drink of water, family, because you know, we got a lot of them motherfuckers, all shapes and colors, straight up. Some have volunteered to join with the soulless. Some have volunteered to walk with the soulless. Now, when we talk about soulless, family, we got to understand something. When we talk about the soul, we talking about being connected to the universe, being connected first and foremost to the central point of the solar system, which is the sun. And so this is where you get soul, being connected spiritually to the sun. And this is why when you go into ancient Egypt, you see that the mightiest deities always were connected to the sun. Even if it don't make a difference. You know, they always had the sun disk above their head. You see, above their head to let you know that they were centered around the sun. You know, and many of the deities are only aspects of the solar. You understand what I'm, the divine fire. You know, when we talk about in the Bible, in most holy scriptures, you read about fire. And people don't understand it's not the fire that you strike with a match, it's divine fire. And when you talk about divine fire, you're talking about the sun. And so when you're talking about the soulless, you're talking about those who are detached from the sun, who are detached from nature. Now you got whole peoples that are soulless. And then you got some of our peoples who have voluntarily become one of the soulless, or who were just miseducated in that nature to do those types of, to have those types of attributes. You see? And so when you talk about being detached from the sun, you're talking about being detached from nature. You see, everything is unnatural. When you talk about the soulless, you're talking about an unnatural people that do everything in an unnatural way. You see, you look out there today, you got all type of you got all type of sexual deviants out there of all shapes and forms. You see, and and we have and we and today they make it all right in this society to be these things. You understand what I'm saying? But that's a soulless society. That's a soulless society that's doomed. You understand what I'm saying? To die on its own sword. You see, doomed to die on its own sword. And we can't wait for that time to come. You see, and so when we talk about, the detached from nature or detached from the sun, you talking about the Walking Dead. When you see that series, they talk about the Walking Dead. There really is the Walking Dead on the planet who feed off of the living, Anytime you watch, see, the thing is, this is what I know. Even when I did the making of the white man, I let him tell his own goddamn story. You see, zombies, that's right. I let him tell his own goddamn story. I didn't tell the white man's story for him. I let him tell his own goddamn story. So when we talk about the vampire, you see, that was his own story, penned by his own goddamn hand. Nobody wrote that. You see, nobody wrote that. And see, you see, many of our people who are infected with crackatosis, niggeritis, they want to rewrite the story. You see, and I let the man tell his own story, so that when you see it, you could not deny that story. You see, you can be mad now, and I'm gonna tell you what that is. The beast can be mad. The Cro-Magnon Neanderthal can be mad. That's all right. He's supposed to be mad. You see, that's why when you talk about the vampire, you see, one of the traits of the vampire is that he cannot look in the mirror. And there's more than one, attribute when you're dealing with that. You see what I'm saying? Number one, when you don't have no reflection, that means you don't have a soul. And so I let him tell his own goddamn story. I didn't make the story up. You see? And it hurt more because many of our people deify the Cro-Magnon. And when he tell his own story, that even hurt more than a nigga creating one. You see what I'm saying? That hurt even more. Because, he honors that man. You understand what I'm saying? He looks up to that man or to that woman. You understand what I'm saying? In honor and, in great, in high regard and high respect. And so, when you bring that shit out, they kill the messenger. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't create the goddamn message. You understand what I'm saying? This is a biography, written by the man himself. And motherfuckers can't even accept it because they just show you how sick they is. You understand what I'm saying? They want to be something sick. You know, they know he's sick and you want to be the nigga, so you sick too. You sicker than he is. You understand? To see the condition that he in and you want to be that shit, you sicker than he is. You see, so some of our people volunteer to be one of the soulless. You see, they volunteer for that shit. And so that's what we call the neutralized niggas. We call them the neutralized niggas. You see, when you talk about feeding off, they unable to react to the reality. You know, they unable to react to the reality. You see what I'm saying? You know, and the neutralized nigga lack a spark. Even though I can't say that he's all the way soulless, unless he didn't went all the way over. The neutralized nigga is one that he see, but he don't say shit. He don't necessarily go over, but that's, you know, when you do that and you don't say nothing, you still with them. You still on their team. Because if you know he's off of the living, you understand what I'm saying? If he feeding off the living, then you supposed to say something. You supposed to rise up and say something. But see, that's one of the diseases of our people. We got the neutralized Negroes. You understand what I'm saying? Who see what's going on and they don't say. They do it in their own community. When niggas rape and pillage, and that's when your heart then been snatched out your chest. And you don't have, when your you lack a spark, because that's where your spirit and your determination come from, which they call the solar plexus. See, that's the battery inside of you that emanate all the others, what they call chakras. If you ain't got no goddamn solar plexus, if you ain't got that battery inside of you, you understand what I'm saying? That's just like when you start up a car and shit, I believe, what is it? The alternator charges the battery. You see what I'm saying? To keep the battery charged. I believe it's the alternator. If you ain't got that motherfucker, then the battery will die. You just running on the damn, and eventually it's going to die. You see what I'm saying? And so you got that battery inside of you that they call the solar plexus, where you get your determination. You getting, you know what I'm saying? Where you get your will, where you get your courage and shit. So use a neutralized nigga mean you ain't got no spark. Nigga, your battery is dead. You're a zombie. You're unable to react. You see what I'm saying? You might be conscious of the reality, but you're neutralizing. You're unable to react. You lack a spark. You see what I'm saying? And so you with them. And see, that's where a lot of our peoples is at. They so crippled by that disease of being a neutralized nigga that even amongst their own community, when you got these niggas out here feeding off of our people, so they the soulless too. You understand what I'm saying? You got some that didn't been trained in the ways of Cro-Magnon. You see what I'm saying? Trained in the ways of Cro-Magnon. And they just as soulless and even more soulless. You understand what I'm saying? Because they look like us. You know, they look like us. And so that's where, you know, we as black men got to rise up today. We do. We got to rise up. We can no longer blame nobody about the conditions of our people other than black men. You know, other than black men. That's being a neutralized Negro. That's being a neutralized nigga. When you blame the woman, you blame the children, this, that, and the third for the conditions. If you see black women or black children that went astray, is because niggas have not afforded them no protection, no defense, no spirit of black manhood that will lead them in the right direction. That's the only, you know, because when I look at nature, everything in nature is attracted to the alpha. When you look out in the goddamn field, you look out there in Africa, you ain't got to wonder who running that motherfucker. The biggest goddamn lion on the goddamn savannah running that motherfucker. You understand? The lion that get out there and scrap for his pride is running that motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? And so the biggest lion, the lion that gets out there and scrap, then the lion is automatically choose him. You understand what I'm saying? And so if you being the highest representation of black manhood, then ain't no way your woman or your children to go astray. So anytime you see, even in the what we call the Bible, even they got enough sense to say, how can you, you take a man's house without first binding the strong man? How you gonna take a man's house without first binding the strong man? You see what I'm saying? And so first and foremost, you have to bind the man. You have to bind it. Then from that point, then all things in the nation becomes, a victim of those who have conquest on the nation. And so today, and I'm saying this, because black manhood has been neutralized on the brotherhood level. We got brothers out here, but one nigga or two niggas or three niggas ain't gonna do nothing. We need a brotherhood out here. You understand what I'm saying? We need a brotherhood out here, that's gonna rise up and handle this once and for all. And we don't have that. We don't have that today. You understand what I'm saying? And those of us who know the truth, we ain't taking that sword to these niggas. You understand what I'm saying? And so we have began to, take on, the lack of responsibility and the dumb shit that these neutralized niggas and these soulless niggas is doing. We are not attached to a lot of that. And we mad because we believe as an individual that we very well may be doing something positive. But on a very mass note, there's a lot of niggas out here that ain't doing shit. They soulless, they feeding off their people, they piranha, barracuda niggas. And then you got the neutralized nigga, all they want to do is pray to God and hope and close their eyes and keep their mouths quiet while these niggas and these Cro-Magnums and these damn chinks and these damn everybody else is goddamn feeding on the people. Feeding on them. You understand what I'm saying? And nobody want to give you no pass today. So when I look out there and I see a lot of peoples is upset at the black man, you got a lot of sisters out there upset at the black man, and sometimes a nigga, it hurt his fucking heart that when you hear something, they go in on a motherfucker and shit, and it hurt, but you know what? That sometimes that very well is what needed to get you up off of your motherfucking ass and get out there on that battlefield. Because after a while, you should get tired of hearing that shit. You should get tired of hearing that shit and want to rise up and show a motherfucker. Sometimes, a motherfucker will test you. You know what I'm saying? And they keep testing you until it hit a nerve. Till you waiting on the next time. You ready to show a nigga. You ready to show a motherfucker today. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to take that shit and let that be the spark that get your goddamn engine moving. So you can get out here and show a motherfucker today what you really made of. You see what I'm saying? And so, you got the soulless out here. And I speak, not just to the Cro-Magnum, to those in our own people. You understand what I'm saying? Those of our own people. You understand what I'm saying? They're doing more damage, today than even the Cro-Magnum. I don't take my foot off of his goddamn neck for nothing in the world. But that's in his nature to do this shit. That's in his nature. We already didn't identify that. That's in his nature. What the fuck is wrong with you? You see? And so they didn't graft it. And motherfuckers always talking about how Yakub grafted the devil. God damn it, talk about how the devil grafted the nigga. You got a lot of niggas out here that been grafted. You see what I'm saying? Them been grafted. You see? And we don't want to talk about that. You see? We don't want to talk about that. And that's where that's where we fail in that. That's where we fail in that, family. And I say it in love because I want my family to rise up. I want my family to rise up. At the end of the day, I want my family to rise up. I want victory for my family. That's what I want. So if I say it, goddamn it, and it hurt, motherfucker, let it hurt. Let it burn. Go get on them weights, nigga. Get your goddamn notebook out and scribble and start writing some damn, abnormal missions to, liberation. You understand? You write some notes in there every day while you working out. Let that shit burn, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And then, write you a notebook of liberation of all the things that's necessary to get you back up. But we got to do it as a brotherhood. Eventually, we work on each other as individual, but eventually we got to work together as a brotherhood. We got to show people, man. We got to show the world what we made of, and that's the end motherfucking result as a brotherhood. You see, we got to do that as a brotherhood, and it started with every individual, but then we got to start linking. We got to start linking and making this shit pop, because times is very deadly today. They've always been deadly. You see what I'm saying? But we can't be weak at this time. We got to start strengthening ourselves. We got to get stay out of, unproductive conversations and, unnecessary conversation with these niggas out here, because they leading you away from your energy source. You got to come in and deal with, strengthen the inner spirit of who you are, the inner soul of who you are, and stay away from these niggas, because they're trying to lead you, from your energy. You see, by even, having conversation with their ass. We got to pinpoint, we got to isolate today. You see, because we got a soulless people. You understand? We got one by nature, and then we got some that been grafted, so they by nature too. When you been grafted, you ain't nothing. That's what you is. You can't just talk, and that's what a lot of people don't understand about the grafted nigga. And you wonder why? Because we be talking truth, right? And you talking truth, and you say, I wonder why these niggas can't get it. Some people can get it, but some just can't get it because they've been grafted. You have to understand that the spirits of these niggas been grafted. The minds of these niggas been grafted. That means that they soulless. And so you look on the outside and you think everything that and look like you is you, and it's not you. It's a grafted nigga. You see what I'm saying? And ain't no literature, ain't no language can deter them from being who they are. So you might as well, that's why you got to understand that what has happened. It's been the grafting of niggas. You see what I'm saying? And when you ain't nothing you could do with that at all. You see? Ain't nothing you could do with that. People talk about Hitler, and what he did to peoples out there. But you better study him well. You better study him well, goddammit. You understand what I'm saying? You better study him well. The European, they talk about Hitler and talk about him like a dog. Many of them still honor his ass. Okay? They still honor his ass. When it came to the United States and Russia, they took the Nazi scientists to create the goddamn nuclear programs that they got today. They talk about him like a dog, but they still took all his armaments and shit, took all his scientists and shit, you know what I'm saying? And really took a lot of his blueprint. And then when people dig off into the studies of Hitler, Hitler was studying the goddamn eugenics program over here in the United States. So motherfuckers sit up here and talk about Hitler, and they don't even understand that Hitler was studying the goddamn eugenics system of the United States. That's what he used as his goddamn blueprint. You see? And so, when you start talking about all these neutralized niggas, all these soulless niggas, and those outside of the race, we already know. We already know how that go. But what's going on inside the race? You see, what's going on inside the race is what we got to deal with, and we got to deal with it as black men. We have to deal with it and understand that, I hear a lot of peoples out there, they use certain terminologies. I'm not with, I'm not with certain terminologies out there, because a lot of people believe we should be in competition with other men on the planet. I don't believe in that. I believe we should be in confrontation with other men on the goddamn planet. We ain't competing with nobody. You motherfuckers got what belong to us, and it ain't about a competition to get it. It's about a goddamn confrontation to get it. You see? And I'm going to tell y'all something, and if you don't hear from the general, man, because y'all going to hear all the other shit from everybody else. If I have to be a lone voice and saying what I'm saying, that's all right. I ain't got to say the same shit because every fucking philosophy that a motherfucker then gave your ass out here has existed side by side with your motherfucking oppression. God damn it. If it was such a liberating goddamn philosophy, it would have overturned this goddamn Cro-Magnon Neanderthal by now. Okay? I don't want to hear none of that shit. You can keep that shit. We talking about overturning this shit once and for all. You see what I'm saying? And so the thing is, and I'm gonna say this, that when you start talking about black manhood, and I want to say this, it is founded on a raw aggression, just like any other manhood, or if even in the animal world, is founded on a raw aggression to conquer, to destroy, to protect, and to defend. That's what it's founded on. It ain't founded on nothing else. Okay, all that shit, all that other shit come next. You know what I'm saying? Just like you got chronological order. When you start talking about black manhood, goddamn it, it's founded on a raw, aggressive energy to conquer, to defend, to protect, and to destroy. That's what it's founded on. You see? And so, in that, having that energy, you see, when it come time, to deal with the situations that's at hand, when you have that, then you got the ingredients to bring change. You see, when you start talking about that raw, aggressive energy to conquer, to destroy, to protect, and to defend, you see what I'm saying? You talking about power. None of these niggas want to talk about no power. These niggas want to talk about education. They want to talk about economics. They want to talk about spirituality. They want to talk about relationships. They want to talk about a whole lot of shit. You understand? They just don't want to talk about no power. That's what they don't want to talk about. You understand what I'm saying? They don't want to talk about because you ain't going, nigga, power is always exchanged by force. You not going to exchange no goddamn force. So niggas don't want no power. They don't want no power. And so that's what the fuck we talking about. You know what I'm saying? When we get ready to make change. You understand what I'm saying? If you ain't got power, and what is power? Power is when you can make a motherfucker do something even when they don't want to do it. That just sums it up. Get it done, motherfucker, or else. You understand? And they know what the or else means. And they don't want the or else. You understand what I'm saying? If you ain't, so power is always backed up by force. It's backed up by numbers. It's backed up by a goddamn demand. You don't beg nobody for no goddamn, when you got power, you don't you demand it. Get your ass up out of here. Quick. Make a move. Quick. You got power. You got force. You got numbers. You got demand. You don't negotiate. You don't negotiate. When you compete, when you competing with a motherfucker, you negotiating with a motherfucker. We're not competing. That means it is no possibility for me to lose on my shit. What the fuck is you mean? We are not in no competition. We in confrontation. This my shit. We ain't competing. That means there's a possibility for me to lose if we competing. There ain't no possibility for me to lose on my shit. You see what I'm saying? And so we're not about competition. We about confrontation. Get up out of here. You understand? So we talking power today. And that's what power is based on, that raw, aggressive energy. If you come from any other direction, you're going to lose the fight. Because the other motherfucker know what power is. He know what it is. He know what it is. And so he understand the rules of power. And the motherfucker who in power run everything else. The education, the economics. He ain't going to start with the economics. Because he'll come in and take your motherfucking economics. He'll come in and take it. He don't give a fuck about the education. He'll take your nation, nigga, and reinstall education. What the fuck do that mean? You understand what I'm saying? He'll come in and take your shit and reinstall education. He'll reinstall the economy, take your motherfucking resources. He don't give a fuck about that. You can't start there. That can't be the central aspect of your energy. You see what I'm saying? As a black man, your motherfucking foundation should be the raw, aggressive energy to conquer, to destroy, to protect, and motherfucking defend. That's it. And then you establish all those other aspects of existence around that. You see what I'm saying? You build all them other aspects of existence around that. Motherfucker can argue that up and down. Up and down. The only motherfucking thing that motherfuckers ain't really done, you understand what I'm saying? Because they did it in the wrong manner. You don't sit up in your motherfucking master house talking about you gonna take the master. Just take the head. You said that's what's wrong with motherfuckers. Motherfuckers want to say, well, niggas talked about, yeah, motherfucker, you talked about it in the belly of the beast. You didn't do it right. You didn't do it right. And so you wasn't trying to win. You wasn't really trying to win. You was being silly. You didn't broadcast it and you know what I'm saying? You didn't broadcast it what the fuck you want to do. That's what power's supposed to do. People don't understand, you know what? And motherfuckers don't like it if I say it. When you see what the white man doing to motherfuckers, that's what he's supposed to do when you in power. Because he know goddamn well as soon as he get out of motherfucking power, what's going to happen to his ass. So you act like you. So when you say, oh, the white man pulled the nigga out the car and killed him and beat his head in or did this, that's what the fuck he's supposed to do. If he going to try to stay in power, what the hell you think he going to do? You think he brought your ass over here, nigga, to live good? Nigga, he brought your ass over here for free labor. You understand what I'm saying? To do what your ass been doing for the last 4. He didn't bring you over here for nothing else. He didn't bring you over here to give you no reparation. He didn't bring you over here to give you no reparation. Whether we deserve it or not ain't the motherfucking question. Is it reality? You understand what I'm saying? Once you subtract, you understand, when you look at this shit from the aspect of power, then you got to formulate the possibilities, the probabilities, the impossibilities, and the certainties. You got certainties. You see what I'm saying? You got possibilities, you got impossibilities, you got probabilities, and you got certainties. You see what I'm saying? And so, I mean, what motherfucker gonna jump on another motherfucker and then give them some kind of power to do the same thing to them that he didn't just did to you? Why would you think a motherfucker would do that? So I already know that it ain't even in the aspects of power for him to do some shit like that. So I eliminate that from even being a fucking possibility. Whether it's right or wrong don't mean shit. Yeah, in my mind, it's right that he giving me my motherfucking reparation. You understand what I'm saying? In my mind, but morality and right and wrong is what's the word? I forget it. I use it so much and I'm moving so goddamn fast. But right and wrong is based on each individual. It's subjective. That's what it is. It's subjective. You understand what I'm saying? Based on the individual. So when you say right, you act like your right the only motherfucking right. You act like your right the only right. His goddamn your right and his rights is two different rights. Your right is all wrong for him. You understand? And his goddamn right is all wrong for us. That's one of the things that we don't understand about this, that we are diametric opposites. This is in nature. Everything in nature got a diametric opposite. That means the two furthest extremes. You understand what I'm saying? The two furthest extremes on the planet. You see what I'm saying? And we the two furthest extremes, and you look into your diametric opposite expecting what? You don't even understand that. So if you understood that he was your diametric opposite and see the fact that you denied your raw aggressive nature to conquer and defend. You understand what I'm saying? To conquer and destroy, to protect and defend, because you denied that. Okay, you denied that, and you put up all these illusions of impossibilities and certainties that they not gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? And so when you denied your raw aggressive nature, You don't, meaning you don't want no confrontation. You don't even really want to compete. You don't even really want to compete. But it's about confrontation and about no competition. Because ain't no motherfucker gonna compete with me in my motherfucking house. Because that's just power. I don't understand what motherfucker we thinking that that's gonna happen. The motherfucking power. When as soon as you start trying to compete, I tell you what, go over to Russia and compete in goddamn Russia with Vladimir Putin and see what the fuck happened to your ass. Go over there to China, to over there, what's his name? Zing, or whatever the fuck his name. And go over there and compete with him. Try to compete with him in his house and see what happened to your ass. They got a goddamn million of them goddamn Muslims over there in goddamn detention facilities right now. You understand? Y'all over there talking that shit, you know, against them people, and whether right, they ain't got nothing to do with right or wrong. He the motherfucking master of that house, and based on power, he gonna put that boot down on any motherfucker that's talking outside of him being in power. Because once you understand power, and I'm talking about this soulless shit, because when you deny your raw, aggressive energy to conquer and destroy, to protect and defend, then the soulless can come in and feed on the people, because that's the only energy that's going to keep them motherfuckers up off of you. Not no education, not no economics, not no spirituality, none of it. None of it, goddammit, going to keep that beast up off of you. You got to have that raw, aggressive energy to conquer and destroy, protect, and defend. And because through the white terror that has went on for 400 years, and ain't no sense of crime, because when you got that, you just gonna get busy. You understand what I'm saying? You just gonna get busy. You gonna get to the fight. You understand what I'm saying? But you've denied yourself even the fight. And so niggas in doing that, so what he did, he didn't punk black manhood. You understand what I'm saying? When he severed it, and you take the man out there and you lynch him and you sever his phallus, you see, that's in essence is what he's saying. He's severing our manhood. You see what I'm saying? He's severing our manhood. And so though I say it in a way so motherfuckers could understand what predicament that they in. That Cro-Magnon Neanderthal got a nigga nuts hanging up over his fireplace. And he daring your ass to come in there and get him. That's exactly what the fuck he done. You understand what I'm saying? And niggas don't want to go get him. You don't want to go get him. You don't want to go get him, nigga. You don't want to go get him. And so what happens, I'm talking to the soulless now. I'm talking to them niggas that didn't deny their black manhood now. Knowingly or unknowingly. But I'm going to give you an option today. Because somebody got to tell you. Because niggas have been punked out of their manhood. You understand what I'm saying? From that raw, aggressive energy to conquer and destroy, protect and defend. Anything that brings him in conflict will happen to go get his nuts up off of that white man's fireplace. He deny it. He denied. He turned his back on it. Whether it's woman, that's right. That's right, nigga. That's right. If you had to defend that woman against that tyranny of that white man, you will deny her. You will blame her for it. That's what you will do because you scared to go get your nuts up off of that goddamn fireplace. Okay? And the children. The children. Kidnapping the goddamn children. Putting them all through the goddamn system. So you don't want to go get them. You don't want to say your babies. You don't want to say your babies. Because then you're going to have to go in there and get them. But you don't want to go get them, nigga. So you will deny the babies. Anything that's going to bring you in confrontation with that, having to deal with that white terror, you're going to deny it. You're going to sever your connection to it. And so when you start talking about all the things that's going wrong in our nation, that is the primary sickness that's causing all the other sicknesses in the nation. Period. Because, like I say, when you see that goddamn lion out there on that motherfucking savannah and he chewing in these motherfuckers, The lion is going to automatically fall in nature with that. You ain't even got to say shit. They're going to fall in line. The baby's going to admire it. They're going to admire it. No, everybody loves to see a lion getting out there, getting busy, chewing in their ass, chewing them motherfuckers up, spitting them out. You understand what I'm saying? That's by nature. And so that would automatically bring the majority of what's going, and everything else that don't fall in line, you know what to do with it. You understand? Some shit done been grafted, and you just have to detox. You have to detox. But that's really where things, that's what's going wrong. And so I say that in honor of black manhood, because I know what it is. I know what it is. You understand and I know what it must be in order for us to be the great kings and emperors of old. I know I don't intend to speak this shit just so motherfuckers could have dialogue on the internet. You understand what I'm saying? When I hear motherfuckers out there talking about the black man, it fucks me up. You know what I'm saying? When I hear motherfuckers out there, the shit that these niggas are saying out here, talking down on the black woman, talking down on his children, out here walking around with the Cro-Magnon woman, the beast woman, and equating her to the great goddess of the universe. There is a sickness that must be purged from this planet, and it's not going to be done by no dialogue. Niggas, it's got to be done by the sword. That's the only way that this shit going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? And so, in essence, we got to strive for power. We cannot strive for nothing else. We cannot strive for economics. Does that mean don't get economics? No, but that's not going to change this shit around. You got to get what you stay, eat, get what you can get. But that ain't going to change this shit around. If your focus and your central point is economic, we're going to be in this shit again. The man who's in power got all of that by default. When you go for the power, goddamn it, you got it all by default. They ain't gonna go, you know what I'm saying? They not going. A man who really understands power and running nation know the central point is understanding how power is, you understand, assessed, and how the attributes of power. You understand how you facilitate power. You see what I'm saying? Once you understand that because you can have a despot motherfucker, an evil motherfucker that understand the rules of power and stay in fucking power until he die and pass it down to his sick ass son who do the same shit. Look at them motherfuckers over there in Korea. Look at them. And I ain't saying I ain't taking no sides against them, but they some sick motherfuckers. They is. They destroyed, committed genocide on our peoples over there too. So I don't have no love for them motherfuckers. 3 generations from the grandfather to the son to the grandson. All of them sick. Every last one of them sick. Committed genocide on their own people. Maybe some of them needed to have genocide. But goddamn it, look at the goddamn nation. They still in turmoil and they in power. And they still in turmoil. They ain't been able to rise up out the sickness yet. And they in power. So you see, and so you got that just lets you know right there. So you can understand the rules of power and maintain control. It don't make no difference if you understand power. So we have to understand the attributes of power. And when we do that, that is shared that is shared the light on everything else. You understand shit, motherfuckers will understand, how to destroy and defeat their adversaries because they're going to do it by nature. And so, again, when you talk about the vampire, and the traits of the vampire, when you talk about there's no reflection in the mirror, that means he cannot accept, even though he know how ruthless he is. He know how demonic he's been. He knows how brutal he's been. You understand what I'm saying? He's not going to accept you telling him that. He's not going to accept that. He's not going to look in the mirror to see it. So that's when it means that the vampire don't have no reflection. He don't have no reflection. You can say what all you want to say. Oh, you did this to me. You did that to me. God damn it, that don't mean a goddamn thing. He has no reflection. That means he does not acknowledge none of that. He don't see none of that in the mirror. You understand what I'm saying? That he has no soul. You see, he has no soul. He's not connected to nature. He's unnatural. You see what I'm saying? He's unnatural. And so we got to understand that today, family. And so hopefully, because, like I say, I'm not going to walk. I ain't going to hold your hand, nigga. You my brother and I love you. But I'm going to teach hard truth on your ass so you could get up and rise up and be who I know you are. You understand what I'm saying? You got to dig deep. And you got to quit accepting this bullshit from these peoples on this planet. You must. This got to be the last motherfucking time that we go through this. It got to be the last time. And so I know a lot of people might be mad at me. But like I said, I did it in the love of our people, in the redemption of our people. This ain't the time of Garvey. We so far into the hole that we got to yell and holler and scream and pull and fucking kick and bite to wake our people up. We got too many that ain't even or never wake up. And so this is not the time where we could just, in those times you had a lot of people that understood they was African. You don't have nobody too many people that believe in they African. So today you got to have a general that's gonna motherfucker jump right in your motherfucking chest. And when don't nobody tell you, I'm gonna tell you as hard as it might be. And remember, I did it in the love of the redemption of African people. So family, we out of here today. Beware of the soulless. Beware of the neutralized niggas. Beware of the soulless in your own people. Reclaim, black man, reclaim that raw, aggressive energy to conquer, to destroy, to protect, and defend. And teach that to your sons. Teach that to your sons. To protect, to defend, and when you do that, and you defend, what do you defend? What do you protect? Your woman and your children without question. And if it costs you your life to do that, that's the most righteous decision that you could ever make. To give your life for your woman and your children is the most righteous decision that you could ever make. Do it in honor, brother. I know you could do it. This is the General Seti saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily, liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.